Hi folks, this is Bill. I was going to put together a quick video that explains these diagrams that we talked about the other day, the other night in contracts. So I think these are really clear, and I think they're really exceptionally useful in analyzing the contracts cases, especially those hypos that Jimenez was giving us. So I'm going to show you real quickly. These are the ones that I actually did for the case, for the review we did. But I also just want to kind of show you how to make these. Because one of the nice things about them is you can really easily make them by hand. So they're handy to do, like if you're in an exam context and you suddenly need to do these for an essay. The basic way to think about them is that in these diagrams, time flows from top to bottom. You don't really worry about how far apart the lines are. Like, it's not like every dot is a day or anything. It's the sequence. That's why they're called sequence diagrams. This is the sequence of the events from top to bottom. And the vertical lines here that you see, Alex Jones, US Mail, FedEx, and Lawrence Hoven, these represent the different actors that are in the scenario that you're talking about. So these are actual, this is like the offerer and the offeree. And you also put in actors that represent the systems that you're using, like US Mail, FedEx, handle, a messenger, anybody who's going to take these messages and move them, get their own line as well. And that lets you do things like separate. The offer is sent here, and the offer is delivered there. So you're able to split this up into two different steps. I'm not going to go through this particular hypo. I want to kind of show you more how you make these. Where these come from is called the Unified Modeling Language. It is a complete set of geeky stuff that we use in computers and in software design. There's all kinds of other kinds of interesting diagrams that we use, but the sequence diagrams are probably the simplest, and they translate really well. Here's what most of the sequence diagrams I've done in my life look like, because they're done on a whiteboard. I stole these from agilemodeling.com. But you'll see, you hand draw the lines, you say, okay, here's a message that's sent, here's a message that's sent, this guy's doing work internally, then it sends a message, gets a result, sends a result. This kind of work, this kind of laying this out makes it super clear. And then there are tools that make it look nice and pretty, like this. I'm going to show you a really good one. But if you're looking at an essay question on an exam, this is what you need. You just need to jot down who are the participants, draw vertical lines for them, and start laying these out. I am going to show you a tool called sequencediagram.org. It's a free tool. It's based on some open source software. They would like you to make a donation. So if you use it a lot, make a donation. That's great. When you go to the page, it comes up looking just like this. It kind of is inviting you to just jump in. So it's already got like a basic example here. If you go up to help and say show the instructions in a pop-up window, it will actually show you all of the options that are in here, like changing the different shapes for the top or putting a logo in here and things like that. I did some of that in the diagrams I was doing. It also shows you how to make angled lines and things like that. But let me show you the basics to do like a basic hypo, okay? So the first thing you do over here, I'm just going to make some room so you guys can see some of these as I'm typing. I'll change the title. I'll say, hypo number 5. And we'll go back to the book. Here's hypo number 5. In this case, he's already got it kind of laid out in order. So I'm going to just take all of these and copy them in. Copy. And go over here. I'm just going to type it. You'll see it gives you a little X, meaning this is not valid. That's fine. There's day 1. Here's day 2. Day 3. Day 4. And day 5, right? So then you go through here. These are the steps that you know are going to take place in this hypo. These are the different things that are going to happen. Then you go back, and I went back and looked to see if there are any steps that are missing. So in this case, the offerer dispatches an offer to sell the widgets to E on day 1. And then on day 2, he rejects it. Well, there's a missing step there. So probably on day 2, E receives the offer. Right, so you put in your missing steps that have to be there in order for the next step to make any sense. And you can go down to dispatches the rejection. E changes mind, dispatches acceptance, which overtakes E's rejection of the mail. Day 4, R receives the exception. There's the rejection. So we don't have any other missing steps, so we added those. And you just go in here and you say, well, who did this person send it to? So this is R, send it to the mail. Right? That's really what happened. R sent it to the mail. Let's get rid of these other ones down here from the original. So on day 1, R dispatched the offer to the mail. And then really what happens here is that the mail sends the offeree the offer here, right? The next one down is that in this case, E sends the mail. E sends the mail the rejection. And here the mail, here's E sends the mail the changing his mind and sends the acceptance. And then here, R receives it. Well, he receives it from the mail. So mail goes to R. And here, mail goes to R. Okay. So now we've got a really clear diagram of what actually happened, right? We can see in here at this point, right, when this acceptance occurs, the rejection has not yet been delivered, but it doesn't really matter because this happens when the contract is closed when the acceptance is dispatched. So if you want to add something here that says basically a line here, right? You can insert or a divider or a space. We'll just do a divider. That's easy. And it says contract formed. We'll say update, and we can move this wherever we want. So at that point, the contract is formed. And I think that's kind of a really nice way to make a clean, simple diagram. You can then follow here in the help. All right, how do I make them different colors? Here, how do I make them different colors? How do I change the shapes? How do I put lines in that don't have any things to them yet? Like, so we can clean this up a little bit and say, I want an actor R, an actor E. So now they'll have little shapes here. I want the order of these to be the participant male. Okay. So you can do things like that. You can change colors. You can change the spacing and all kinds of garbage like that. But it doesn't really matter for the analysis, right? For the analysis, this tells you everything you know and makes it nice and easy to see when the contract was formed. So I hope this helps. If you guys have any questions, email me, or you can always just look up sequence diagrams. They're called UML Sequence Diagrams, and you'll find more about them. I hope this helps.